Welcome to the podcast about investing in startups, where existing investors can learn how to get the best deal possible, and those that have never before invested in startups can learn the keys to success from the venture experts. Your host is Nick Moran, and this is The Full Ratchet.
Welcome back to TFR for a special installment of Investor Stories. In this segment, the investors tell a story about some of the most odd and unusual situations they've ever encountered as investors. This is the segment called The Strange and Unusual. On today's special segment, we have Evangelos Simoudis of Synapse Partners. Evangelos, can you tell us a story about the craziest situation or pitch you've encountered as a startup investor?
Actually, the absolute craziest was a handwritten presentation that was mailed to me using physical, U.S. mail of somebody that wanted me to fund them to do slasher movies. Using consumers. In a sense, it was going to be a combination of crowdfunding and venture funding. And rather than, every other investor, we're used to seeing things in some sort of a PowerPoint or some sort of a formal presentation like this. In their case, they had, as I said, handwritten notes and Polaroid pictures of consumers that were in makeup for appropriate for slasher movies. So wow. It went up in our wall of fame in our firm. But that was the craziest, and I admit that nothing of what I have received since comes close to that.
On today's special segment, we have Cheryl Cheng of Blue Run Ventures. Cheryl, can you tell us a story about the craziest situation you've encountered as an investor?
That should be the easiest question, but that's actually kind of a hard one for me. I haven't had a lot of crazy situations. I've definitely seen odd ideas, but, I really haven't had anything crazy. I think there have been a few instances where I've really scratched my head in terms of why founders are approaching me. I mean, for example, we've had a lot of products sent to the office being like, okay, we're going to send you this in advance of our meeting. But then there is no meeting, right? Scheduled. So I'm I don't know who you are, but there's products sitting here in my office. So it was that's always kind of interesting. But, I have to say, I've been pretty lucky. I haven't had anything totally bizarre happen to me. So I don't have one of those stories, unfortunately. I'm sure after we hang up, I'll think of something.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I really haven't. I have to say, I've been very lucky. I've almost always met with founders that are generally pretty respectful. And, there have been a few times where things have been maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but, I used to be a banker, so I have pretty thick skin around those things now. So there's not a lot that phases me, but I do think that when it comes to technology, products, and startups, there are definitely founders who will treat male investors a little bit differently than female investors. But again, you have to let those things kind of roll off your back, because otherwise you would never get up and go to work every day. So, I don't really have anything super crazy to share with you. I'll let you know if I think of something.
On today's special segment, we have Wayne Kimmel of 76 Capital. Wayne, can you tell us a story about the craziest situation or pitch you've encountered?
Well, I really have to tell you, one of the craziest things that I ever really heard, and this is what people would say back to me around this, was one of my first investments was in Seamless Web. And it was this idea of allowing people to order food online. And back in 2000, that was kind of a crazy idea. I had friends of mine, and a lot of people would say to me, wait a second, why do you need to order food online? That doesn't make any sense. Just call in your order or fax it in. And now I tell that story today, especially with young people, and they're like, fax? What are you talking about? I've never even seen one of those things, right? Yeah. What is that, right? So it was really, at the time, it was really crazy. It didn't make sense to a lot of people. We were 7 years before the iPhone had even come out. So we weren't even talking mobile. We're just talking about ordering online. And now, look, I mean, Seamless is now public as Grubhub. It's a $10+ billion company. And, you know, it was wacky. That's one of the things that's so exciting and amazing about being a venture capitalist. We get to work with these entrepreneurs who truly see the future, who have or believe they're seeing the future. And we're the ones who have to kind of agree with them and jump on board and try to help them make it happen. So that may not sound so crazy today, but I got to tell you, back in 2000, like, why were you going to do this? Why do you need to do this? Doesn't make any sense. You know, so a lot's changed. But that's, to me, the key in startup investing and being a venture capitalist is to invest in things that are crazy.
Yeah.
And if they're not crazy, they're really not innovative. And if everyone's like, oh my God, yeah, that makes sense, then it's not really that good. And if you're not getting pushback and people aren't, you know, saying, oh my God, you're going to take my job, or you're going to do this, or I don't know if I'll ever do it that way. That's kind of actually, when I hear those kind of things, those are actually like almost like the kind of vibe that I want to hear back is, that's crazy. That doesn't make sense. I don't like that. That's not such a bad thing as being a startup investor, because if we just do stuff that's obvious, that's not innovative. And that's not something that could really be a big company someday.
Yeah. I think you've been through this situation too, but with me launching my own firm 3 years ago, you know, a lot of family and friends thought I was crazy. You know, what are you doing? Your career's taking off and you're taking this risky, you know, market and investing in startups. Most of them fail, et cetera. And then our first set of investments, people looked at me even stranger. They're like, what are you doing here? These things make no sense. They're ridiculous. They're crazy. I think a lot of people thought I was way out of my element. And I just had a big party, sort of our annual party a couple weeks ago, and had everybody out. You know, we had a couple hundred folks there, a few hundred folks there. And now they get it, because I put the founders on stage. The founders talked about all the progress they've made. And now all of a sudden the concepts make so much sense now that they're in market and they're having success. But it's kind of funny how that works.
Yeah, it really is. And that's really cool, being an entrepreneurial venture capitalist. I mean, like, it's awesome. It's an awesome thing. None of this is easy. It never is. And, you know, the thing is that sometimes the best entrepreneurs and ideas, they don't work. And that's tough. It's really tough. But again, the one thing that I always say is, if our entrepreneurs do it right and they do the right thing and the business doesn't work, that's okay. We shake hands and we're like, we gave it our best. As long as we give it our best shot and we truly work hard, and that's important. That's really important. Doing things the right way. Do it the right way. It doesn't work. That's okay.
That will conclude this installment of Investor Stories. If you're enjoying the program and would like to see it continue, take a moment and leave a 5-star review in iTunes. Also, if you'd like updates on new content from TFR, as well as the top 10 VC articles every week, go to fullratchet.net and sign up for the newsletter. Okay, that will wrap things up for today. Until next time, over-prepare, choose carefully, and invest confidently. Thanks for joining me.